Hi, this is Jan Hibbert from Log Cabin Leather, and I'm here in the basement of my log cabin home where I make all my made leather products. And I want to apologize for the washer going in the background. This wasn't my best laid plan here today. But what I'm here to talk about is the problems my products solve. Now, I'll be honest, this has always been a difficult question for me because I really don't look at things from that point of view. And again, if you know anything about me, I started making handmade leather products in 1977. So I am going into my 44th year come next month. And so I have made a vast line of products. And trying to be everything to everybody, I really have not hit my target market. So I've been really working hard on trying to do that. And so working on what problems my products solve and all that kind of thing. The one thing I've always been true to is my products are all inspired by nature. Everything is 100% leather, other than the hardware that I don't make. And everything is inspired by nature, I would say. So those are the two things, and those are the core value, things that I have never veered from. I don't use any imitations, things like that. So those are a couple of my core values. But as far as what problem I solved, it really took me a long time, and I worked on this for a long time, and I'm taking some other, classes on narrowing your niche and things like that. And, it took me a long time to figure out what direction I wanted to go to. And then finally, it came to me. Now, if you notice my shirt, it has a loon on it, which is my favorite bird. Now, that's something my family has always loved. So that was where I was going to go at first, was specifically things with loons. And I certainly have many, many things that have loons on them. But, which is, again, like my catalog, which, again, was kind of where I started here. This catalog was made, again, in 1978. Has a loon on it. So that was something to my family that, was always important. So I thought maybe that would be the way to just specifically do things with loons on it. But I realized that maybe is a little bit too narrow. So I struggled back and forth with this, what to do. I love carving the pictures. I don't want to give up that kind of thing. But, obviously I need to make products that will sell. My products always, again, been durable, long-lasting, more functional, to be quite honest. But some of the other things that I realized when I looked through my catalog, the other thing that a lot has to do with in this book is birds. There are more things in here with birds on them than any other kind of product in this book. Other than like stamp designs, everything with animals, there's usually some sort of birds. Everything. So then it really dawned on me that really that should be it. Now again, where does this, as far as birds go, why birds? Birds is something that have been part of my life since I was a young child because my mother was a bird watcher. So again, to me, seeing products with loons on it, seeing products with birds on it, again, remind me of my mother. Things with the loons remind me of the place we had on Lake Winnipesaukee up here in New Hampshire, which is where I fell in love with loons. Where I really fell in love with nature was here in New Hampshire. And, this has an emotional connection for me. It's going to bring tears to my eyes in a minute here if I keep going on. But it brings back a memory of the place we had on the lake, which is gone now. Both my parents are gone now. The house on the lake is gone. So this still reminds me of it. The other thing that also helps me is this was my mother's bird book. This was purchased in the 1960s. She purchased it. I remember my mother got this for Christmas or so, or Christmas or birthday or something when I was a young child. And from then on, she always had in our house in Massachusetts, it was wooded all behind our house. She had a bird feeder that was attached to the dining room windowsill, a big picture window, and she watched birds. And out in the woods behind the house, you could see the birds and stuff. Whenever she saw a new bird, she'd find it in the book. If she didn't know what it was, she'd write down the date and the location and where she saw it. When we went up to New Hampshire up on Winnipesaukee for the summer, she took this as well. So it probably does have the first time we saw a loon in it and so forth. And so once my mother was gone, this is something that's been important to me. And again, having this epiphany that really birds were my thing. I have more things with birds. Again, most of which were my mother. I love to buy gifts for my mother because she was so easy to buy things for. Because again, birds. This is something that I bought. I have another piece in this set, but I also had another set that I had made that had tufted titmouse on it, and it was something I was embroidering for my mother for Christmas. And I remember when we went into the store with my father, because this was when I was probably, in my teens maybe, the dog chewed on it and tore off the whole corner of the piece and so forth. So I remember having to try to scramble and fix it because it was only a few days before Christmas, trying to get it done for my mother. Again, this was for my mother that I made 40 some odd years ago. But again, so my niche now is birds. So now I really need to tell you what problems my things solve. First of all, again, that emotional connection. Um, Again, maybe not, some people just have love penguins or things like that. But again, more birds and things. These are all things that my mother saw around our house. So they were things that, had a connection to her, brought back memories of times gone by, of places, of moments, things like that. So again, just, looking at that picture reminds me of the dog chewing the things, so it brings back certain memories. So that's what I hope my products will do for you. Bring back memories of something, trigger a memory, things like that. I have all different kinds of book covers. Again, all based on real nature and things like that. So the different kinds of birds. Obviously, the great horned owl is not one I see around my house, but I do have a barred owl. I do have cardinals. I do have chickadees. What I used to have at my other house was a blue heron. I didn't pull that out. I have a blue heron on something. But again, most of these things are things that I have, I've had a personal connection to. So I think for most people, they're going to instill some sort of memory if had a connection to these type of things. So I hope that, my products are going to do that. They also, again, other than connecting you to places and memories and things like that, all the book covers are functional. They're refillable. They're things that are meant to be used. Like I said, this is 40 some odd years old. They're meant to be used. This is over 40 years old. And again, this was before I really knew what I was doing, and I dyed this leather, which was really not meant to be dyed, which is, gave it this kind of crackling feeling, which is, now I wouldn't do that anymore. My whole collection now with all the butterfly things. Butterflies is something most of us love. And so the 3D butterflies, that's a part of my new collection this year, along with all the butterfly jewelry and so forth, and things like that. What's nice about the jewelry that is different than anybody else, now I have all sorts of necklaces, and what the problem this solves is if you're allergic to metal, which I am. So this is a real life situation for me. My sister is a jewelry fanatic and always has all sorts of necklaces and stuff, but just doesn't get it. I can't wear them because I'm allergic to the metal chain. I can't wear it for half an hour, especially in the heat. Summertime, I couldn't wear it for any length of time at all. Earrings, I gave up on those over 40 years ago. Gold, sterling, didn't matter what they were made of. 15 minutes or so, it would start bugging my ears and drive me insane. So I gave up on those. So earrings are not something I can do. But these necklaces are beautiful because they are on these leather cords. And to adjust it, again, you just pull it. So it adjusts from long. And again, this isn't the best outfit to display the necklace on, although that actually, the colors of it go very nicely with this shirt. Can be long, but it can also go, get my hair in the way now, and too many other necklaces on as well. But then you can shorten it right up, to choker length. So you can adjust it. Pardon me, because I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see. But again, so you can make it whatever length you want, which I think is very unique because you can adjust it anywhere in between and it's going to stay. That's unique of these necklaces. How many necklaces can you do that with? It might have a place you can hook and alter different sizes, but not usually to the variety that this one can. So any neckline or whatever, you're going to be able to adjust it to fit. I think they can be for casual wear, but yet they can dress up an outfit, I think, too, if you have the right colors and things like that. And the same thing, now again, the bracelets also, same kind of adjustment. They adjust by pulling the cord. Has a bead that opens up, loosens up. You easily put your hand in. See, now I could never wear the bracelets that you just slid over your hand. Even as a child, those never ever fit my hand. I'm not sure why, because it's not that I have that big a wrist, but I just never could do that. So, and again, my lighting in here is terrible. But this is really the only place I have to film. So there you go. So that, again, perfect for people with allergies. Going to fit any size. Now, this is the other beautiful thing about this. You know, bracelets are hard to buy for people because you don't know about the size. You know, necklace, you might not know what length they want. Problem solved with these because you can adjust it to any length so they get what they want. Same thing with a bracelet. You don't know if it's going to fit. Well, this solves the problem. And if you really think somebody has an extra tiny wrist or a baby, you know, you can message me like that, and I can make one even small, you know, smaller. These bands, about 6.25 inches long. I figure that is going to give enough so that, and again, I would say I don't have I guess I thought I had a big wrist, but I guess I'm a little bit more medium. You know, it has some space there. So if you had a real tiny wrist, that might be a little bit too big. So again, I can make them, you know, you can tell me things like that when you order them if you need to. But again, so I think that's what makes those unique. I do have earrings and so forth that go with all my sets. I have a whole collection of the feather jewelry. Again, all based on nature, the real colors of birds, the real butterflies, things like that. The hair pieces, you know, all sorts of things. But they are all based on nature. They are all to inspire you. The butterflies, again, you know, are inspired by nature. As a teacher, I always had butterfly eggs or caterpillar egg or moth eggs, and we would watch them transform into the butterflies or the moths and stuff. And it's incredible to watch. So butterflies being a symbol of change, there's something that most people can identify with. There are a lot of women. They're light and delicate, yet they're so strong and resilient. So that's my dryer. I apologize for that. Like I said, I'm in the basement of my home. That scared me. But they're a symbol of change, transformation. So they're things that a lot of people can identify with. So again, I hope they'll bring back memories. Some of my fondest memories are, again, raising the butterflies in the classroom at school, going to places like the Butterfly Place, which is an incredible place. And it's in Tewksbury, Mass, I believe, to see the butterflies, you know, in kind of like an arboretum. Butterflies in my own yard now around here. I have the tiger swallowtail. I have monarchs. You know, I have some other smaller butterflies as well. But when I went to Ohio, they had the zebra swallowtail. So that was kind of cool. I've always loved little bits of nature and things like that. So see, those are memories that stick out in my mind. And so seeing things like this are going to bring back some of those memories. So I hope that is what my products will do for you. Bring back memories, inspire you, get you to take the time to enjoy nature, to just look at the little things in nature, things like that. Avoid the mass-produced things, avoid looking like everyone else. Have something that's going to uplift you and inspire you, something that is going to be unique, because the only place you can get these products is from me. They're all hand-painted and things, so everybody's is going to be a slightly bit different. Again, still made with the same quality. Like we said, I'm showing my books that are, you know, over 40 years old. They're meant to last. They're meant to be used. They're not meant to sit on a shelf and just be pretty. I mean, I do have some home decor. Obviously, that's more in that line. But most of my things are really meant to be functional, to be used, to be loved, and to bring back those memories. So that's pretty much where I'm going to wrap it up today. And again, I apologize, not my best plan. My washer is spitting out in the background now, so I apologize for that. I hope you'll follow me on my journey as I go on my adventures through life, as I create more new things here at Log Cabin Leather by Chan. This is my website where you'll see all my products. I just launched my new butterfly jewelry collection, which were some of the pieces I just showed you. So I hope you check that out. But I also have many other beautiful things with the birds and butterflies as well. So thank you very much